Hi everyone, it's my deepest pleasure always to share with you at the beginning of each month the energy update for that particular month. So my name is Cumber and I'm an intuitive, and it's really lovely to take the pulse of Gaia, of our wonderful planet, of the people upon it, all the different kingdoms that exist, and the unseen realm as well as the seen realm, and what they have to say and how many different influences there are going on at the moment here to actually help us move from a duality state into unity. And when I was connecting in with Gaia on the 1st of November, it was very much, she was giving me a picture of birthing. She was kind of saying, you know, what we're all going through at the moment is like giving birth, whether we're male or female, whatever age, it's like the same thing, you know. It's sort of like painful sometimes, it's very intense sometimes, but this new energy, this unity consciousness is being born whether we like it or not, whether we're going to take some deep breaths through the birthing process, or we're going to fight it, or we're going to take whatever help we can get, or whatever. There's no turning that switch off, there's no rewind button. This new earth, this unity consciousness is actually birthing throughout humanity now. Now, for any new unity to actually be created, it takes both sides, the light and the dark, the love and the hate, all of that, you know, disharmony within that, to not stay separate as in the yin-yang symbol, not to have its separate sides, but to actually coalesce, to actually unite, to actually come together. And it's like there's this huge body of light, this huge invitation of light, of love, that's ever present now. There are no veils there, it's all actually very visible. And all of this stuff is there. And so it's our resistance, our fear, our fear of the unknown and not knowing what we're doing, and all the normal things have been swept away to aid us in actually going within, asking the bigger questions about who we are, what do we want our life to be, what are we dreaming into place. If you're the dreamer of your own dream, what is it you're dreaming into place? And this is the November energies. November energies are varied, and they're all over the place. So it's like the first week of November is very much like the October. If you haven't seen the October energy update, please have a look at that, because the first week of November is still within that frame. It's still within the swirling, you know, tornado kind of stuff going on. So we've still got that actually takes us through to the first part of November. Around the 8th, it starts to shift and change. 14th of November, boom, a big change happens, massive change. So as far as Gaia is concerned, she's shown it to me as going boof, like a blanket that comes down to go shh, slow everything down, slow everything down. So this means there's influences at play up to that point that are going to bring up in you, a bit like Saturn and Uranus. You know, the Saturn energy is very, you know, strict, and let's look at this thing, and oh no, let's not make any decisions till we've acquired all of the knowledge. And then you've got the Uranus stuff, which comes in, governs me as an Aquarian. Woohoo! Right, okay, we've got all of this stuff happening. What are the possibilities and potentials we can actually work with? What are we going to dream into place? So you've got this, you know, shadow and light, this heaviness and this lightness, all coming into inside of you. This month of November, it's not just reflective outside in the world, it's inside of you. These resistances, these sadnesses, the guilt stuff. It's all there. It's all coming up because it's trying to make room inside of you for unity consciousness. Okay? So, whatever is happening in your world, however you perceive it to be, just remember you have choice. You have choice for different things. You can make choices to do things differently. From the 14th onwards till about the 28th, she's talking about taking our time for the ultimate self-care. If nobody's ever meditated before, this is your time to start. If you've been meditating for a very long time, this is the time to start again with a new perspective of who you are, with a new dynamic of how much light can you embody. How much light can you embody? That's actually what November's all about. It's how much light can you embody? How much light can you be? How much of a beacon of hope, of joy, of love, of laughter can you be? That's what November's all about. That's the biggest question. And I'd love, please, to write those comments in that comments field below. Write it all down about, what are you doing as a beacon of light? What are you finding really difficult to do? Maybe there's something, an affirmation I can give you, or there's some information here I can channel for you personally. Just stick it in the comments field below. Or maybe there's something that you do that is a reminder of the options you've got and how you can lighten your load. Because Gaia wants us to lighten our load this month. So please share those because it might help somebody down the line. So she's talking about it being a time of, so after the 14th, so it's busy, whizzy woo, and then 14th to 28th, she's just saying, just take your time, whatever it is you're doing, relish that inner journey, relish that going inside, and just calming everything down, and seeing it from a different perspective. Okay? From the 28th onwards, the energy starts again. And rather than talk about that now, because I think we've got quite a lot to focus on, I'm going to do another energy update for the end part and the beginning of December around that time, so we're well equipped to actually adjust to that. So you can look at this as a heavy time, as a no hope time, as a this or that or the other. Or you can acknowledge when those feelings come up and actually look as well as the hope and the gorgeousness and the beautiful things that are out there and bring that into a nice weave. Okay? It's up to us at the end of the day. We're the master of our own minds, so we're the only one that can get in there. Whatever is external is within, and we can change our inner landscapes, and that has a dramatic effect of our outer landscapes. It's time to hold the line in the service of the light. It's time to hold the line in the service of love. Okay, so I pulled a couple of cards for us for, just basically for this whole month of November. And anyone knows me, I have a lot of oracle cards to choose from, but the power of love came up for the one for us to use today by James Van Praagh. Beautiful. And I thought it was quite interesting that the first one that came up was peacefulness. So it is a time, after the 14th, it is a time to bring in peace to your life, to actually, maybe have a look where you can increase that capacity in your own life. What can you do to increase that capacity? And it says, you recognize that balance, kindness, and love bring calmness to your soul. I like the back of these ones as well, look. And the second card that we had is detachment. You are releasing old patterns and ideas that no longer serve your highest ideals of love. That's a good one to remember if you get caught up in the maelstrom of options for chaos and detachment. You can choose what you detach from and what you're bringing in. So detach from all those old patterns and bring in all of all of the patterns that you wish to dream into place. So November is it's a crossover kind of month. It's like the leftovers of October and the whirlwinds, and the beginning of going into our hearts more, to embodying our gut feeling, our bellies, the dream of the life that we are choosing to focus on. You know, energy is a very real thing. It's, you know, our focus, our mind goes, whatever our mind is upon, energy flows to it. So just be really aware, please, that you are magnificent, you're blooming amazing, you're a powerful being of the universe. So what you're focusing on increases, it brings in that energy to actually unfold towards it and brings it to you. So, you know, have a real good dollop of peacefulness, of kindness, of meditative practice of some sort, whether it's a walking meditation, whether it's just looking at the sea, whether it's being grateful for, I'm outside, right? We're in mid-Wales. It's November. I love autumn. The cows are still in the field. Can you see behind me? I absolutely celebrate it when the cows are still out in November. They're still free. They're still there. And also there's very little wind, although if I ask her to join us in her playfulness, she may well do. But I hope you can see the field in front of me. We're very, very lucky to have amazing farmers here in mid-Wales, and there's sheep and there's cows in the same field. It's just so stunningly beautiful. We're just very, very, very lucky, very fortunate to have people who farm in this way. Okay. So lots of love to everybody. If you need some help in starting off with guided meditations, there's a couple that I've already had professionally recorded actually a few years ago. One is Love Your Body, one's Heaven on Earth. Another one I've got is Worlds Within Worlds, and you can get the links to these up above if you just press on those. It gives you something to start with. I would certainly recommend you start with Love Your Body, because it actually grounds some of this energy in, some of the beautiful energy that's around at the moment. Okay, what's coming to mind just to complete this session is a friend of ours shared on a group that I'm on yesterday a wonderful photograph of a waterfall, sort of a shallow waterfall, and when I first looked at that photograph, all I could see was what looked like a figure that was king and queen. It looked like male, female combined, androgynous. And it definitely looked like the being was wearing sort of like a crown, which meant the royalty side of things. And I really had to look very hard to see that it was actually a waterfall. Okay, now I'm just mentioning this because that's exactly the sort of view we can have in this world. I've talked before about the veils are down. You know, our capabilities of having a sixth sense, our capabilities of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience is greatly and massively, has greatly and massively increased in recent years. And so you might find, especially after the 14th, you might find there's a beautiful, it feels like there's a beautiful sunny window arriving. Okay, and it might be like, you know, that idea of when you're in the heart of a winter or something and the sun comes out and it starts to have that beautiful winter autumn light where it goes all orangey and golden. And if you're out on a walk or you're outside and you suddenly find something is catching your eye, there's a flicker of light either side, and you turn and nothing appears to be there. But when you move back into the forward position, the flicker's still there. Often that's actually you are developing your sixth sensory awareness of the unseen realm. So the unseen realm is here all of the time. It's benevolent, it's trying to help us, and it's making itself known more and more and more now. And really, to actually get more awareness of what this flicker of light is, if you've got the discipline, I know it's really hard to do, but if you've got the discipline to keep looking ahead, keep your focus wherever it is for you to observe this light, and yet be aware of this light and this frequency of energy that's just arrived for you, you may see more. You may see more. You may be able to identify what the colours or the shapes that are taking form. Yeah, it's just something you might be interested in, something that might be a bit of fun to try. There's no harm in it. It's all good fun. And it just opens up your natural abilities that you've already got. And it starts to heighten your awareness that we share this planet with the many. We share this planet with so many different beings, frequencies of light, and it's wonderful to be alive at this time, to be able to share some of this knowledge with you and to encourage you into feeling those vibes that are just sent through for you, to, do these things yourself, have a go, sit with Mother Nature, see what impressions come up for you. Did anyone feel those vibes that were just coming through a few minutes ago when I started to talk about the flicker out the corner of your eye? I'd love to hear how that felt for you in the comments fields, because that was a very different sort of energy, and I'll let you know if it happens for you and you felt something there, you want to describe it, then I'll give you some feedback about what was coming through there so you can recognise it next time it happens. Okay, my loves, remember your joy, love, kindness. And it's definitely time to start going inside and luxuriating in your own meditative practice on the magnificence that you are. Lots of love, everyone. Soul to soul. See you soon.